If you're having trouble getting started with that first segment, this will help you, I hope. What we're going to do is we're going to walk through the introduction and segment one, and we're going to connect the structure for writing segment one directly to the 5-paragraph structure that you practiced and got so comfortable with when you were writing the 3 words that describe me and the 3 threes about me essay at the beginning of the semester. So keeping in mind everything you learned and practiced when we wrote the 5-paragraph essays, let's walk through the first segment of your research paper. So the topic that I'm using is the epidemic of despair, an exploration of the increase of suicidal ideation in America today. So as you know, I recommend that your introduction be 3 S's: a story, statistics, and a summary. So the story, you would begin with a personal anecdote or a news story that sets up your topic. And that's what I've done here. I won't take the time to read the essay on the video. I just want to walk you through it, but then I would suggest that you go back and look closely at this sample and read it for yourself. So an attention-grabbing story that sets up the topic. Paragraph 2 is I've handpicked just a few statistics that illustrate the problem that I'm going to be discussing in my paper. And for the purpose of this paper, I'm going to be looking at 3 particular demographics: working age white adults, teen and preteen girls, and children. So I've got one statistic for each of those groups mentioned in paragraph 2, just to set up the fact that there is a problem. Paragraph 3, I really do want you to use the wording that's directly built into your paper template. So you're going to just plug your own words into the brackets. So for example here, this paper will be examining the sharp increase of suicide and suicide attempts among certain demographics. First, and that's going to be segment 1, it will outline which demographics are most affected. Next, which is going to be segment 2, it's going to explore causes. And finally, which will be segment 3, it will propose steps that can be taken to put a halt to the epidemic. And then I include what I hope my takeaway is for the reader of my paper. So that's the introduction: story, statistics, summary, 3 short paragraphs. Now I put in a bold heading that is the title of the first segment of my paper, where I'm going to be arguing the fact that there is an epidemic of despair. So I have chosen that title for this segment, The Epidemic of Despair, and that title is bold and at left margin. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 5-paragraph structure to compose this segment of the paper. That means I've got 3 points that I'm going to make. And because I'm dealing with 3 demographics, each of the paragraphs in this segment is going to deal with one of those 3 demographics. So in paragraph 1, I open up with just the dictionary definition of what an epidemic is. And I make it the connection that that fits the rate of suicide tendencies in the United States today. And then I list the 3 demographics that I'm going to cover. Just like when you wrote your 3 words that describe me essay, you listed the 3 words at the end of your introductory paragraph, you're going to list the 3 points that you're going to make in the segment. So my 3 demographics are working age white males in rural areas, teen and preteen girls, and children. So you can expect to see those 3 points in the topic sentences of the 3 paragraphs that follow. So paragraph 2, my topic sentence names the first point. So recent studies are drawing attention to the falling life expectancy of non-Hispanic white working age adults who live in rural areas. And then I support that claim with research. So you'll notice that there's a combination of quotes and my own words, but it all includes in-text citations, naming the source that the information came from. Paragraph 3, I have a topic sentence that names my second point. So a second demographic being hit hard by the epidemic of despair is teen and preteen girls ages 10 to 14. Now, you'll notice that I use the word second to let my reader know that I'm on my second point in my outline. And I repeat the keywords epidemic of despair. That's a hook to the previous paragraph to help the reader keep their place in my train of thought. And then again, I illustrate that demographic with statistics from my research, including in-text citations for all of my statistics and claims. And then finally, paragraph 4, my topic sentence names the third demographic, which is children ages 5 to 11. And again, data that supports that there is an epidemic among that age group. Now, knowing that I'm going to be getting into the causes of these uprises in suicide in these demographics in my second paper, I'm going to leave it just at this point where all I've done is proven to the reader that this problem exists and that it's real and significant. And then in the final paragraph of this segment, I am going to sum up what I've covered, briefly restating the main points that I've made and preparing the reader to launch into segment 2. So hopefully this will help you to connect what you're writing now with what you've already written. You all did a fantastic job on the 3 words that describe me, the 3 threes about me essay, and just bring that same structure, bring what you learned in practice there over into your research paper. Think of just 3 points you want to make about your topic. Lay them out in the first paragraph of the segment, then make 1 point per paragraph, stating the point in the topic sentence, and then supporting it with evidence from your research. Include in-text citations for everything, not just direct quotes, but if you include statistics or other data in your paragraph, you still need to cite where that information came from. Citing sources in text is not just about avoiding charges of plagiarism. Citing your sources lets your reader know where you got your information and that your claims are credible. So follow the structure that's familiar, just 5 paragraphs. You can see that with the introduction, which is 3 paragraphs, and then just these 5 paragraphs, I'm already up to the 5th page of my paper. So even if you just limit your segments to this 5-paragraph structure and repeat that 3 times, you're going to easily end up with the length of the paper that you need. So hope that helps. I look forward to reading your work.